Yesterday was the season finale of season 4 of My Hero Academia. That ended really good. Now, what is the first thing after My Hero Academia other than the anime? Other than the season 5 confirmation? The next thing was today's manga chapter. And by golly, was today's manga chapter pretty freaking cool. Especially that ending part. Man, season 4 ends crazy, and the manga just continues having My Hero Academia go in the right direction and just gets heated. Oh my goodness, this chapter was intense, and that ending, the ending to the chapter, was crazy. Anyways, I cannot wait to talk about it. But anyways, guys, this is Camper 15. I'm back at it with another My Hero Academia manga chapter review, and this is manga chapter 267. This obviously released today, so the first thing we get to see is a nice colored page of Mirako with some bunnies around her, and it seems like she has, like, I guess what you can say is a prosthetic arm, since obviously you all know she lost her arm in the fight with those high-end-no moves. So yeah, we're gonna get to it. And so the manga chapter starts off, with a flashback scene of Tokoyami and Hawks talking, and Tokoyami's asking Hawks, like, what is your weakness? And essentially, Hawk says, well, essentially, my weakness is fire, It doesn't matter. If I use it, my wings burn up really bad. And Tokoyami asks Hawks a question like, well, then, if you're put in that situation, how do you counter that? And essentially, Hawks says, well, before a villain uses that fire attack, I just essentially strike right then and there. Then we get this funny scene of Fat Gum, who has, and I'm trying to look, because I'm looking at the manga. Fat Gum has Tokoyami, the Mushroom Girl from Class 1B, I think another character from Class 1B, and then, Jesus, I'm trying to remember, fudge. How can I not remember these people's names? But essentially, I'll remember his name. But essentially, he's carrying the student, the 1A students, Fat Gum, and he's basically like transporting them, back to where the other heroes are, like, back on standby mode and stuff like that. And essentially, Tokoyami asks Blood, why can't we, like, help and assist them? But essentially, Fat Gum's like, well, because your long-distance range attacks, it help us be able to counter out what the villains were doing so we can get into the base and take it over. Now, since you guys really done your job, I'm going to take you back, and then you let the adults handle this. Plus, we don't want your powers possibly, attacking us by accident, and that could get us in the way, which could end up turning the tide in the battle, and we don't want that. That's what he essentially was saying. All of a sudden, it focuses on Tokoyami, and Tokoyami ends up looking back in the mansion. Next thing you know, there's this flame of fire that comes out of this part of the mansion. Tokoyami's eyes get wide, and you can feel, or he feels like something's wrong. And the flashback scene hinted that the most. So then we go cut to Dobby and Hawks. Now, like I said in my last video when it came to the manga chapter, if I was Hawks, because he is not exactly in the best of shape, I was like, the first thing he needs to get out of there and not try to mess with Dobby. Anyways, Dobby screams out saying, you killed him. And, if you remember from last week's chapter, Twice was killed. So it has been confirmed. If anybody had any suspicions, it has been confirmed Twice is dead. Um, you know, he is dead. He is dead for good because Dobby says he killed him. And essentially, Dobby's using his firepower, and he's like, "How could you do this?" and stuff like that. Um, Hawks starts stating like Dobby's flames eventually are they're getting hotter and hotter. They're starting to like actually hurt me. And then Dobby, he's obviously heated that Hawks killed twice, and he's like, "How dare you do that? How dare you kill twice like that?" and stuff like that. And then Hawks comes to mention the fact that is that the face of a man who just watched his friend die. And Dobby has this psychopathic type of face. He has this evil, smiley type of face. It is very freaking like disturbing and vicious. And then he brings up that fact, and then or Dobby replies to what Hawks just said about the face of somebody who watched their friend die, and he's like, and Dobby's like, "How rude of you to even say that I would do that." You know, I haven't, and he states, "I haven't cried since my tear ducts got burned." Which, geez, that's insane. I don't know how you're not crying because your freaking face it looks like it's all sham shut like your Scarecrow from Batman. Um, and essentially, he goes on to state, with twice around my dream had a way better chance of coming true. So he also says like, yeah, of course I'm sad. And he brings up his dream, and then all of a sudden he starts heating up again, and he's like, so sad in an angry fashion. Then Hawks is like, look, you in the league, I looked into all your backgrounds and stuff like that, but I came up with nothing on you and Shigarachi. Because obviously, Shigarachi's backstory is kind of kept. We know Shigarachi's backstory, but to the common public or to other heroes, they don't know his backstory. They just know him as a villain that just came out of nowhere, who was the underling of All for One. And even Jesus, and for Dobby, heck, we still don't even know his backstory at all. And the fact that Hawks says that he found no information on the past of him. It goes to show that the only way we're going to find this out is if Dobby tells us his backstory, which I think Horikoshi will eventually give us the backstory of Dobby. Now, whatever, like I said, they're really, these past two chapters, this chapter and last week, they really hinted at, okay, what is your deal, Dobby? What is your backstory? And then, like I said, it's still one of the biggest plot, centric things people in the My Hero Academia fandom want to still find out. Like, who is this guy? Is he a Todoroki? Is he just a guy off the street that became a villain? Did he have a sad backstory or something like that? And then it cuts to a flashback scene of a kid Hawks. And essentially, these people in black suits tell him, look, you're going to be put in this special program to become a very special hero. The training's going to be difficult. It's going to be rough. But listen, you think you can handle this stuff. And then Kid Hawks just nods his head. And Kid Hawks just tells the people, like, look, can I be like him? And can I be a hero that beats up the bad guys? And essentially what he's talking about is he has this hero doll. And it's a hero doll of Endeavor. And he also brings the fact just how I was saved. Can I be a shining light for everyone? So we kind of get a little bit of a backstory to why Hawks wanted to be a hero. And I'm guessing what happened is, when he was a kid, Endeavor must have saved him when he was younger, and he probably looks up to Endeavor a lot. And it's a coincidence that, the chapter has a little bit of a symbolic thing about Hawks and Endeavor in this short little backstory thing when, yesterday's episode was really about Hawks and frickin' Endeavor and stuff like that. And then now it ties back to why Hawks told Endeavor, way back when they first met each other, a few arcs ago, why, Hawks was saying all that stuff, saying like, look, I can believe you're the #1 hero. You just have to show me and stuff like that. It's because it seems like Hawks was influenced to be a hero due to Endeavor, and he looks up to Endeavor, as an inspiration, as, a role model essentially. So it's really cool to see that because it seems like, well, now instead of, it looked like Hawks was putting the Endeavor down. It looks like he actually has more of respect and he actually, likes the guy genuinely because he must have did something in the past where like he saved him or something. Then it comes back to the present, and like a charred up face of Hawks is like, "Who are you, Dobby? Who are you?" In the Viz Media manga, there is the one panel where this crumbling stairwell is at. The text bubble is for some reason blacked out because I'm looking at the manga right now. I don't know if there's anything said in there. But the text thing is blacked out. If it's the same thing for you guys, if you read the manga, um, just put that in the comment section, please. I thought that was weird because I don't know if Dobby is saying anything of importance there, but this bubble screen is like blacked out. Anyways, Dobby puts his, foot on Hawks again, and Hawks just has a shocked impression. And Dobby starts saying this, like, more than twice. More than anyone. You should have been keeping both eyes on me. And essentially Dobby's trying to say is like, look, you should have never been worried about twice. You should have been worried about me from the start. Because I was never, I was always suspicious of you. I never trusted you from the begin with. And then he goes on, and then Dobby keeps talking. He's like, the League? Shigaraki? He's like, I didn't give a damn about that fool. And he's like, a single person with a single conviction has the power to change the world. And he goes on, he goes back to what he was saying like last chapter. He's like, look, there ain't no true heroes. And essentially, his plan is still on that Stain ideology of the fact that he wants to make Stain's will a reality. Because if you remember, he was inspired by Stain. Well, him and Toga. We don't know if Toga still has this idealistic thinking, but obviously it seems like Dobby really is doing all this for himself, and he still wants to do Stain's ideology. So could that mean is he going to eventually, rebel against Shigaraki in the League? And I guess, you can say he was playing Shigaraki from the very start and then he never trusted him. That could be a possibility. That could be a possibility. The fact that maybe he's like, no, I just came into your group so I can continue Stain's will. Maybe you're trying to backstab Shigaraki at the last second. Who knows? It's interesting to point that out that he's still on this Stain ideology. And it's like I said, I wonder if Toga's on the same thing because, like I said, she was inspired by Stain as well. So does she feel the same? And essentially, Dobby starts heating up and he's like, see you later, Hawks. Your life's another thing that I really don't give a damn about. And it's looking like these flames are starting to engulf Hawks. And it's like, oh no, are we gonna get the death of Hawks now? I'm like, I'm like, last chapter, we got rid of twice. Now we about to get rid of Hawks now too. So before anything else happens, it cuts to Giant Tomakia, and he's just sitting there in the corner like we saw him. It's focusing on his face, and then it focuses on this little, this little tiny, like, I guess, speaker box. I'm guessing what this thing is when Shigaraki finally reawakens and he's released from his chamber. I think that's when he'll be like, or when the doctor will say, Shigaraki is back. And then Giant Tomakia can go on his rampage because he only takes orders from Shigaraki. Then, here's another prediction I predicted from last week's at the end of the chapter. I wondered, will we be going back to the hospital, Jakku Hospital? We end up going back to the Jakku Hospital. It literally cuts straight back to Jakku Hospital. So I guess one of my predictions of going back to the hospital was correct. Then we continue the battle where we left off when we last were in the Jakku Hospital, and that's the battle between the 3 or 4 High-Nomus, from what I remember, against Mirako. And if you remember, Mirako already has her arm freaking, ripped off. Like, she has no arm. And she's fighting. And essentially, you know, she's not really giving up and stuff like that. And essentially, she's like coming to the, and she's saying in her head, like, look, I know they're not wearing me down because I know my body really well. It's like, but she sees at their eyes, and then she makes the fact like it looks like they're finally awake and they're like, serious now. And and then she says, well, this has been fun, but I'm gonna get out of here and get and do my job, and that's to go get the doctor. So all of a sudden we get this one shot in the panel where she just jumps past all the high end nomus, like legit jumps past all of them, and she's just off to where the doctor is at. The Nomu makes mention that one of the Nomus make a mention, and they're like, "You have to go see Trades and stop the doctor. Stop being foolish, woman." And all of a sudden, she powers through. Miracle's powering through, and she's like quick as a rabbit. She's just moving super, super freaking fast right now. And then all of a sudden, she's like, "Listen, if I'm gonna die, F it, I'll die. But I gotta get my job done first." So she breaks through into the room where the doctor and Shigarachi are being held at. All of a sudden, they show the panel of the doctor, and the doctor's like, "What the hell is going on here?" Then it shows the Shigarachi, little capsule. All of a sudden, the High Nomu's little tentacle things misses Mirako on the bottom near her thigh area, but gets her because her leg is kicking up. Her leg is up to kick, and all of a sudden, one of the Nomu's little tentacle things goes straight through her like calves, and the Nomu makes like, "Oh, well, you can't get escape now because it's pretty cramped in here," and essentially, a bloodied up Mirako has one of her, if not the best moment so far of her character, and she's like, "I ain't done yet. You think I'm gonna stop me? Because a hero never ever." And then it cuts back to the mansion area. It shows the flames, and then Dobby gets kicked off of Hawks. All of a sudden, Hawks turns back and sees Tokoyami freaking stops Dobby from killing Hawks. And my goodness, Tokoyami is like, "Hawks!" And then he comes in saving the day. I was like, let's go. This thing is good. Now, this part of the manga chapter is heating up. It's getting freaking heat crazy now. And then it cuts right back to the Jakku hospital scene, and then you see Endeavor taking down the Nomu that was after Mirako and smashes its head, and then the tentacle obviously falls out of her knee, and she's like never gives up. And it looks like, and Mirako has like this crazy evil smiley demon looking face thing, and it's looking like she's going to kick the Shigarachi's capsule to essentially, I guess, break Shigarachi free and maybe have him at a more lower power than what he was supposed to be. And then that's where the chapter, and that was really the last panel in the chapter, and that's where the chapter ends off. And then, we won't get the next chapter till April 12th, which I believe is, again, next week. Let me check my calendar on my laptop real quick. If it will load up for me, that's the thing. Goodness, yes, next Sunday will be the next chapter. My goodness. What a freaking chapter. What a freaking chapter. We get a nice little, backstory, short little backstory of why Hawks became a hero and what it took for him to be a hero because he was in the special program. We still find out that Mr. Dobby here is still on Stain's ideologically, thinking, and that he really doesn't give a crap about what the League's doing, really. He's kind of doing this just for Stain. We have that epic Miracle moment where she just rushes through and she's like, F this, F fighting the Nomus. I came here to stop the doctor. I'm doing my job here, even if I do die. And Mirako, she is fighting. She is showing why she is the number 5 hero in Japan right now. And if you want a fan favorite of Mirako, I don't know why. Obviously, there is a lot of people are making a lot of fanfics of Mirako because, I'm dead. If I wasn't into furries now, I'm definitely into furries now because of Mirako. But just the fact that she looks like a hero that's on a determined mission. I really hope she doesn't die, dude. I really hope she doesn't die. I hope she's like one of the few heroes, or one of the few heroes that will actually come out of this, arc alive. If she ends up dying, I'll actually be sad because I'll be like, I wanted to see more Miracle. And then Endeavor, he shows up at the nick of time. He already came off his freaking badass episode from yesterday. And he has another amazing moments here. I swear, I cannot wait for this arc to be literally animated. When this arc is animated, this arc is going to be insane when it's animated. And that's like, this is season 6 material. This is going to be season 6 material. But this arc is going to be insane. Like, literally insane. And like I said, the chapter ends off. So, I guess, who knows what's going to happen. Obviously, it seems like next chapter, wherever they start off, I feel like it's going to probably maybe switch back between Jakku Hospital and the mansion. Because right now, there's two things that are going to be going on. It's looking like we're going to get Tokoyami versus Dabi. And it seems like we might get the revival of Shigarashi, maybe at a weaker percentage than what he was supposed to be at. Because Mirako was aiming for that chamber, and she looked like she was going to break it out. Because in the last panel, it looks, as you see the little bit of the glass capsule. So, and she was kicking it. So, obviously, she's going to kick this thing and break Shigarashi open. It's probably not going to be for, the greatest thing, but I think the moment once they release Shigarashi, I think that's when things will turn for the heroes from bad to worse. You know, things like that. And like I said, we're looking like we're going to get Tokoyami versus Dabi. Now, Tokoyami is going to be at a disadvantage because fire is one of Tokoyami's weaknesses because of the light it emits. And because if you remember when they fight from Bakugo essentially kind of used, his explosions or the fire from his explosions to essentially make Dark Shadow weaker. So will this be, it seems like we're going to get a Tokoyami moment. Tokoyami's had some moments in the past, but this looks like it's going to be like one of Tokoyami's better moments, and he saves his master Hawks. So it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. So obviously we have another Class 1A student going against another league member. So yeah, right now the things aren't looking too good for the villains. Things are definitely not looking too good for the villains. They're not only getting owned in the mansion, Miracle finally caught up with the doctor, and now that Endeavor was literally right at the door where the doctor's at too. So I figure what they think they're going to do is stop Shigarashi, arrest Shigarashi, and stop the doctor and arrest him. But I feel like I said earlier, I think the moment Shigarashi breaks out, it's going to be something they're going to regret, because it's going to be like, you probably should have not done that. You probably should have tried to see if you can leave him in like some kind of incubation like period where he's just, there motionless and he can't do nothing, where he can't get stronger or anything. But yeah, it seems like next chapter is going to be insane where this is going to pick up. Where this picks up, I don't know if we're going to go to either back to Jakku Hospital or pan back over to the mansion to see Tokoyami versus Dabi. We're going to see where this goes. And My Hero Academia manga, it's heating up now. It's heating up now. So things are going to get crazy. Things are getting crazy. And man, was this one hell of a chapter. So anyways, guys, that's where I'm going to end this chapter review. I'll see you guys next Sunday for chapter 268. But other than that, this has been Camry 15. If you like the video, leave a like. There's comments you want to put regarding this chapter and how crazy this was. Put it in the comment section. Also, check out yesterday's video, My Hero Academia episode 25, the season finale, because I did that review with my buddy, the Red Wolf, who is a guest on my channel from time to time and stuff like that. And also, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more My Hero Academia content. And if you are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon to make sure you get any updates regarding whenever or whatever uploads I have. I think today I'm uploading like 3 different freaking videos today. Maybe. This is the second one. If not right now, my One Piece, 927 episode review is up on YouTube. Maybe at this point, or it's still uploading, but it will be on the channel as well as that. So other than that, I'll see you guys next week for the next manga chapter review. Other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Stay safe. Yeah, wash your hands. Be safe out there. Dangerous times. Other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. Peace.